Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be an easy, healthy meal prep. If you're wondering how I have time to do this whenever I have a 2- and 3-year-old, they are in bed. It is 7:13 and I'm going to hopefully not be up all night. I'm going to put in a little bit of extra time tonight so that in the next several days for breakfast time and dinner time especially, I am saving time. So tonight we're going to be making 2 dinner recipes, or these could be for lunch. We're going to be doing a soup and a casserole. For breakfast, I'm going to be prepping hard-boiled eggs and pancakes, and then we're also going to be making some muffins. So I hope that you guys enjoy this and that you find it helpful and it gives you some ideas for your meal prep, and let's start cooking. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the blueberry muffins because, hello, I want to eat one. No, but seriously, these take a while in the oven, so it just makes more sense to put these in so I can start prepping other things. So in my bowl, I am going to combine 2/3 cups of white sugar, an egg, 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, 1/3 cup of milk, and a teaspoon of vanilla, and stir that up. I will have all the recipes linked in the description box in case you want to try any of them, so you don't have to worry about that. But then once that is stirred, I'm going to add in my dry ingredients, which is a teaspoon of baking powder, 1 1/4 cups of powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of sour cream. You could also use yogurt if you have that on hand. I think I actually used yogurt. And then your blueberries, and it says 1 cup of blueberries for the recipe, but I had like a ton of blueberries in the fridge that I needed to use up, so I just dumped a bunch in there and then saved some for the top. Also, I want to say thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. I cannot believe that 1,000 people have watched my videos and decided that they wanted to click the subscribe button. I don't know. I'm mind blown. I can't believe it. This was like my really big goal. And I know like for a lot of people, 1,000 subs is like nothing. They can get that in like an hour, but for me, it is a huge accomplishment. So thank you so much, those of you who have subscribed and watched my videos and liked and commented. It really just means a lot. I can't believe that that many people want to watch me. So anyway, muffins are in the oven. They are in there at 350 for 25 minutes. And now we're gonna get started on our taco casserole. So I diced up a 1/2 of an onion, and now I'm going to ground 2 pounds of ground beef and cook it with the onion. So this does take a while to cook because it is a lot of meat, but once you cook it, you're gonna drain your beef and then add in a can of enchilada sauce, a can of green chilies, and then some cream cheese. And then you're gonna just stir it all together until your cream cheese melts, and then you're going to assemble your casserole. So I do 2 layers. You're gonna do Frito chips and then the meat mixture and then shredded cheese. And besides my spaghetti meatballs, because that is such good stuff. I've never made it on here before, I should do that. That is my husband's all-time favorite meal that I make. But besides that, this is his second favorite. He gets so excited. He was watching the Chiefs game. Sorry if you're a Miami's fan. He was watching the Chiefs game while I was making this, and he could like smell it. He's like, "Are you making that taco stuff?" And I was like, "Yes." And he ended up, and once it came out of the oven, he was like, "Do I have to wait until you're done filming, or can I have some now?" And I was like, "You can go ahead and have some." So, yeah, we eat this with like normal taco toppings, like shredded lettuce, salsa, sour cream, just that kind of stuff. And then the muffins came out, so I wanted to give you guys a close-up of that. And now we're getting started on our hard-boiled eggs. So there's a couple different ways you can make hard-boiled eggs. What I do is I'm gonna add 12 in a pot, and then I'm gonna cover them completely with water, so there's about 1 inch left. And then I'm going to bring my water to a boil. Once my water's boiling, I turn off the heat, put a lid on, and then wait 10 minutes. I did overcook them slightly. I'll show them to you whenever they're done. They weren't like bad. I just prefer mine to be like a little bit gooey in the middle. And these are like completely hard boiled. So it just depends on your preference, but I didn't realize the water was boiling because I was just busy and distracted with other things. And then I looked over and I was like, oh shoot, I have no idea how long this has been boiling for. And I just went ahead and left it for the 10 minutes because there's nothing worse than like the snotty egg. You know what I'm talking about? Especially obviously with being pregnant. I don't want to eat raw eggs or give them to my kids. So muffins have been cooling for 5 minutes. I'm going to add them to a cooling rack. I am eating off the fork like a barbarian in between because no one is eating this other than the 4 of us. Obviously, if I was going to be giving them to someone else, I wouldn't be eating off the fork like this. But you know what? This was good. Now we are moving on to our fajita soup, and this is also really easy. The only thing is that there is quite a bit of prep work and chopping. My hand was like cramping by the end of this, but right now I am getting, well, first I'm getting the taco casserole out of the oven because it was ready, so I just wanted to show that to you. But I am cutting up the other half of that onion, and then I'm doing 3 bell peppers of different colors. Obviously it doesn't matter what color they are. And then I'm gonna do 4 garlic cloves and a pack of chicken thighs. So it is quite a bit, but this is so good. My kids love this, and our friends came over recently, and I made this for them whenever they were here, and they loved it as well. So yeah, it's just one of those really good staple soup recipes, and we are definitely in this cold front that I know a lot of you guys are experiencing as well. So some good soup is definitely what we need right now. Okay, finally we're done with all of that. So I am melting some olive oil and butter in my pot, and then I'm going to add the chicken and the onion, and I'm going to saute that for about 3 minutes. Next, I'm going to add in the bell peppers and the garlic, and I'm also going to add in 2 tablespoons of flour and then my seasoning. So I am using chicken bouillon powder, salt, pepper, chili powder, cumin, paprika, and oregano. And then you're gonna stir this like constantly for about 2 minutes. You wanna stir it because if you let it sit, then the flour is gonna get all lumpy and ucky, and we don't want that. We're gonna add 3/4 cup of long grain rice, a can of black beans, a can of diced chili, a can of crushed tomatoes, and then 4 cans of chicken broth. You're gonna add 3 cans in like normal, and then the last can you're gonna add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch to it to thicken it up, stir that up, and then add that. So once that is all good, just to cook the rice, you're gonna bring it to a boil and then let it simmer for about 8 minutes. See, my hard-boiled eggs are done, so I'm going to add those to a bowl and then just run some cold water over them. Then here I'm showing you the inside of the egg. So for the soup, I am grating some cheese, and I cut myself with the cheese grater. I have used a cheese grater for a long time. I've never once done this, and it oh my gosh, it really hurt, and I will never like nonchalantly use a cheese grater ever again. So Alex went into like full-on medic mode. He's not he's like doesn't work in healthcare or anything, but he did serve 8 years in the military. So anytime that someone gets injured, he like immediately just like kicks into action, goes and gets our first aid kit from the garage. I tried telling him that I only needed a band-aid, but yeah, I was just trying to hold some pressure on it. And then for sanitary reasons, I could not continue using the cheese grater without washing it. So to finish off the soup, you're grating some pepper jack cheese, and then you add that to the soup. I will show you what it looks like without the cheese. But whenever we warm this up tonight, which is the next night, to eat it, while it was on the stove warming up, I just added I carefully grated the cheese, and then I added that into the soup. And then this is really good for toppings. We like to do cilantro, sour cream, tortilla strips. My kids love those on there. Lime juice is really good. Hot sauce. I'm like a more's more whenever it comes to toppings. So yeah, I'm just trying to stop the bleeding right now by keeping it above my heart. Since I'm pregnant, I just like have a lot more blood flow than if I'm not pregnant. So yeah, that was difficult getting it to stop bleeding, but got that taken care of. Alex and I are tasting the muffins. I was so excited to try this, and they were so good. Alex isn't even like a huge blueberry person. He would like much prefer like chocolate chips or something. I love blueberries. But he like was raving about them, couldn't get over how good they were. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Thank you so much for being here and watching, and I will see you in the next one.